Good morning. Oh, I think I forgot this. This is your cue. Good morning. I'm Reverend Lyon, your minister here at Heritage Universalist Unitarian Church. In this season of Thanksgiving, we come together to practice the art of gratitude, to remember that we need not think alike to love alike. We are very grateful today to have Bethany Rogers serving as our worship associate. Bethany?
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. It's so nice to see all these smiling faces. You would never know that I woke up on the wrong side of the bed this morning. Somehow, thinking about gratitude has turned me around. And I hope that maybe if you came in this morning and things weren't exactly perfect on the way to church, I can't imagine what that's like, right? That you too will be transformed by thinking about gratitude, by seeing all of us around here doing our best to practice gratitude, whether we feel it or not, right? That's the most important thing. To those of you who are worshiping with us for the first time, or maybe the second or third time, we're so glad that you're here. Welcome, whether it's here in the sanctuary or on Zoom. We have a guest book for first-time visitors that's in the back that you can sign. And now, this week, beginning with Lucy, she's going to put the link up on Zoom. If you're visiting with us on Zoom, we have an online guest book for you to sign. So we would love to get to know you a little bit better, make you feel like you're part of us, even if you're not worshiping with us physically. If you are here in the sanctuary and you are with us for the first time, we have a board greeter who always has a yellow name tag. I don't know if everybody's made that connection, but the board greeter will always have a yellow name tag. And Sue Ray Hall is our board greeter this week. She's standing up. So she's our officially designated person who can answer your questions, give you a tour of the facility, ask about what is this thing called Unitarian Universalism. So that is a long question if you ask that specific question. You'll get maybe a different answer from every person that you ask, which is one of the things that I love about us, is that our welcome for you is not conditional based on believing the right things or being the right kind of person. We welcome you and your specific gifts, whoever you are, whatever you believe, there is a place for you with us. Even if you think you turned off your cell phone, take a look at it, make sure it's off. The only noises we want to hear today are those of our fellow worshipers and our leaders and our choir. We don't want to have any interruptions that'll take us out of the moment that we share together.
So, Bethany, I think there's actually a lot going on at this church these days.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
Well, there always is, really.
Yeah, more than can fit on the back of that order of service. So it's probably important for folks to be making sure they're getting that weekly Monday announcement. And if you're not, all you got to do is email the office and they'll put you on that list. But it's got a lot of great things happening on it.
Yep. So just to point out a couple, after church today, please stick around. We're going to have a hot chocolate bar.
Yummy.
Yeah.
Yummy. And that's actually only half of the excitement, because we're also going to be putting up and decorating our ginormous Christmas tree right about here. It's an all ages, whole church kind of thing, led by our own Reese Johnson there, who's shepherded this important thing for years and years and years. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yes, so stick around and put up an ornament with us. We also want to announce that our Clara Barton Guild dinner will be happening on December 3rd at 6 o'clock. Not 6 at 3 o'clock. 3rd at 6 o'clock.
I think that's for all women of the church. However anyone who identifies as a woman is welcome to come to that and is joyously received there. Absolutely.
Also, another chance to eat together. Please put something on your calendar for Friday, December 12th. We're having an event that we're calling Our Shared Story, community supper. It'll be an evening of food, laughter, and reflection. We're going to share who we've been, who we are right now, and who we are looking to become. So we want everyone to have a chance to be part of our conversation about our future.
Yeah, it's part of our whole story, Congregational Renewal Weekend, that you've maybe seen a few things about. Some RSVPs are already, or invitations have gone out, a few more are coming out later today. Hope you'll be there for that. It's going to be a really important thing. This is still the beginning of a new ministry, you know, and it's important that we figure out who we are and who we want to be moving forward.
All right, thanks, Bill. You want to call us to worship?
Sure thing. And this is where I would be doing this to my friend Remy, who's going to light the chalice for us. Told him I'd give him a sign. Okay. Some people are ahead of me. We gather this morning to give thanks for the earth that sustains us, for the people who companion us, and for the breath that keeps us alive. Here may gratitude grow deeper than words, and may love guide us beyond agreement into belonging. Come, let us worship together. Well done, Remy. We've lit this chalice for the warmth of community, the light of truth, and the spirit of gratitude that calls us beyond agreement into love. As we enter this week of Thanksgiving, we ground our gratitude in truth. And in that truth, we remember that we gather on the ancestral lands of the Hopewell, Adena, Kaskaskia, Osage, Wyandot, Shawnee, and Miamia people. We honor their care for this earth through the generations. We know that for many Indigenous people, this season is one of remembrance, often painful, and reflection. May our gratitude today deepen by awareness, and our awareness call us toward justice and right relationship. Now let's rise in body and spirit as we offer gratitude through song. Our opening hymn is, "Oh, We Give Thanks." And please remain standing for our covenant.
We affirm that love is the spirit of this church, and service to truth is the sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve humankind in fellowship, to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with the divine. Thus we do covenant with each other and with God.
Okay, y'all all sat before I was able to turn the mic on. Good job. It's now our time for all ages, so any of our young people who are in the room, come on forward, okay? I see you there. You can't hide from me. Come on. Come on. Good job, y'all. Okay. All right. Who is going to be with family for Thanksgiving this week? Yes? Yes. Okay. All right. So, there's one thing. I'm going to give you a strategy for the best way to have the best time with your family that you maybe don't see all the time, okay? Are we ready for it? Okay, I'm going to tell it to you, and then you're going to repeat after me, and then I'm going to tell you what it is. Does that make sense? All right. Don't yuck someone's yum. Can you say it? Yuck someone's yum. Okay. Now, this might be about food, but it's about other things too. Okay, so let's say that you're going to be playing with some of your cousins, and they love to play, I don't know, Legos. Who loves to play Legos? All right, so this is a situation where everyone's yum is aligning, okay? But maybe they want to color, and you want to build with Legos. That could be a moment of conflict. That means like you all don't have the same yum. The things that you all want might not be the same. Okay, so in these instances, we want to try to appreciate that someone else is going to enjoy something that you're not going to enjoy, and that's okay. And you don't need to say things like, "Oh, that coloring is so lame. Why would I want to color?" You can feel that in your head, but you don't want to say it with your mouth. Does that make sense? Okay? We have to get used to letting people have the things that they want, even if those are not the things that we want. Okay? This is partly how we connect with people who might be different than us. This is also true about food. Okay? So someone's aunt is going to bring some dish that, like, you don't know what's going on there. It's going to be like in Jell-O, maybe. You're going to look at it. Yeah, see? I get that face. Yeah, you don't like Jell-O. It's going to look weird. It's going to be kind of like it's going to wiggle in a way. It might be white. You're going to be thinking, what is that? And you're not going to want to eat it. And guess what? Don't put it on your plate. But also, don't say anything about it. You get that? So when you see that dish where you're like, what is happening there? Like you maybe tell your sibling privately in another room. Then you tell mom. If you don't have a sibling, tell mom in another room. Well, if your mom made the dish, I'm not sure. Okay. Okay. So if this is the case, you need to find something nice to say about it, even if you don't want to eat it. Okay. So if you're not sure you're going to eat it, you might want to say, "Wow, it's kind of amazing that it stays together like that." Like, try to find something nice to say about it, even if you don't want to eat it. Okay, now this all sounds really funny, and it is kind of funny, okay? Food is funny in a way. But the deeper thing to remember is we each have things that we love. There are each activities that we love to do, and those often are not going to be the same as the people around us, and that is okay. It is okay for us to be different than our families. It's okay for us to like things that are different. And it is also okay for us to not like things at all. Those are perfectly acceptable experiences and feelings. And you have every right to them. But your experiences are not the only ones happening. And your likes and dislikes are yours. And someone else will have their own likes or dislikes. When we try to make someone else, when we look at the things that other people like, and we say, someone else's yum, and we say, yuck. That is a way of, that might make those people feel like we think yuck of them. But that's not what we want, right? We want to celebrate everyone else's yum, just like you want your yum to be celebrated, okay? So when we're with people who are different, we kind of try to find a little bit of common ground, and we also accept that maybe there are going to be things that like we're not going to try at the buffet. That's okay. Or the dinner table, or wherever people set food out. Sometimes it's all on the table together. Sometimes it's on a bench somewhere so you can serve yourself and go to the table. There are different ways of eating in this way when we join together in family. And we're going to have the opportunity to practice that a little bit later, because when we do bread communion, we're going to come and there are going to be some breads that have cheese in it. Who likes bread with cheese in it? All right. Some will have like fruit in it, like cranberries. Who likes cranberries in their bread? Okay. Never had cranberries in bread, so maybe we don't know how we feel about that. Some folks can't have most of these breads because they have gluten, but we have gluten-free breads. So we're going to have the opportunity to celebrate our own yums while not yucking anyone else's when we do bread communion. It's going to be a way that we together learn how to value each other's differences without diminishing our own joys and experiences. We're going to practice together as a community. That's what rituals help us do. They help us practice important things that happen in the world. So we're all good. Now we are about to leave, and we're going to do some activities together that are going to help us celebrate our thanks and gratitude, and then we're going to come back in for bread communion so that we, with the rest of our community, can practice the principle of not yucking someone's yum. Okay, we're going to say it one more time. Not yucking someone's yum. All right, there we go.
As the kids head to their classes, carrying forward the spirit of our worship, we're going to sing them out with a familiar tune written by Unitarian Lydia Maria Child. Over the river and through the woods. As we sing, may we send them with joy and curiosity. Over the river and through the woods. No new minister in his right mind would try to change for Thanksgiving. Our children and their boundless energy will return a bit later. For now, let's let the spirit of the stillness return. As the choir now gathers to offer, "Come, thou fount of every blessing," a song of gratitude for the grace that flows through all of our lives. So let's take a breath to quiet our hearts and make room for this musical blessing from our choir.
We turn now to candles of community, where we name both the joys and the sorrows that each one of us carries. We'd ask if you have a joy or a sorrow to share, that you'd come forward as we traditionally do. Reverend Bill can light a candle for you in silence or offer you the microphone if you'd like to share. Please share your name and very briefly what's on your heart, and then return down the center aisle. You may come forward.
Take a look at those candles. They represent joys and sorrows expressed, and so many not expressed. Let me light one more for those. So let's join in a moment of reverence. The spirit of life and of love, known by many names, Universe, Great Spirit, and for some of us, God. We honor the fact that we're able to gather to express these joys and sorrows, to express gratitude, to do so in a space where there's no expectation that we think alike in order to love one another, to care for one another. There are many hurts not expressed. May we know that by lifting them up, whether by voice or in silence, we give them a chance to make it into the ether that we and the air we all breathe. Sometimes a silent hug or a handshake or that magic of eye contact where we see you in one another's eyes. At this time of Thanksgiving, let us remember that Thanksgiving is every day. Let's share the silence for just a few more seconds. Amen. I think we have someone special helping us with the next part of our service. Juliet, would you like to come up?
Hi, I'm Juliet Meyer and I'm 9 years old, and I'm here for a special reason. And it's
Just a little closer to that.
and it's going to involve donations, so get ready to get out your wallets. As you know, every week we give 100% of our offering to a nonprofit outside the church. You might also know that once per year we have a special request for money from the IPM Holiday Store. Well, guess what? Today is the day. The IPM Holiday Store provides toys and gifts to families who can't afford them. Every year, our church gets a group of kids and families together to shop for the presents. The kids play the most important role, choosing all the good stuff. We need your help to make this a success. Please help us make someone else's holiday magic.
Thank you for your generosity, and thank you, Juliet, for doing such a wonderful job. Here we are in the season of Thanksgiving. The autumn leaves have fallen, at least in my yard. And thanks to you, Sherry, for playing one of my favorite songs of the season. We've just shared in our abundance through this special outreach offering involving our children in that wonderful tradition. And soon, many of us will gather around bountiful tables with people we love and sometimes even like. Sharing space in a meal where not everyone agrees can be both beautiful and at times a little tension-filled. Both and. Of course, this holiday also comes with historical and cultural complexity. There's that story of the harvest celebration shared by the Wampanoag people and those English pilgrims in 1621. A 3-day feast of gratitude for the first successful crop after a very difficult year. And aspects of that early gratitude endure. The pausing, the reverence, the family stories told again and again, memories kept alive and passed forward. And yet, this season also carries painful reminders of our nation's tendency to erase the histories and cultures of indigenous peoples whose land we now inhabit. For those of us willing to notice, we see that marginalization and oppression and erasure are not just 500-year-old relics. So how? How might we still be grateful beyond agreement? Some of you may recall a couple weeks ago, the theme of our service was the potluck called community. You may even remember that I asked you to complete this card, this two-sided card. And on side 2, I ask you to just to name the things you need the most, the things you value the most about community. Far and away, the number one response was connection. It wasn't a great sermon. It was connection. And that longing makes sense. We're wired for belonging, for a relationship, for being known. Yet too often we mistake agreement for connection. We seek out those who see the world as we do, hoping that shared opinions will make us feel less alone. An agreement can be comforting, but it's not the same as true connection. We can agree about sports teams, right, Woody? Woody and I both attended the Ohio State University, OHIO. We can. I don't know. But even if we share the same sports team or our favorite movies or even political candidates, we still never really necessarily know one another. Those interactions can remain polite, even pleasant, but shallow, like a meal of appetizers with no main course. Maybe it's the myth fed by our consumer culture that things should come easily, or it's that online echo chambers blur the line between connection and mere alignment. Whatever the cause, it's easy to confuse the two. I sometimes wonder if those early settlers and the Wampanoag people, whether they too wrestled with that distinction. Or maybe did they find connection through the challenge and surviving tough consequences? Did hardship actually forge bonds that were deeper than agreement? Now, whatever the connection they found, it wasn't built on comfort. It was built on necessity of learning to live together in an uncertain world. And don't we too find ourselves in uneasy times? Despite the comforts of those pilgrims, the comforts that we have that they could never imagine, we face a different kind of harshness. Where divisions run deep, grace feels elusive, and certainty is sold as a virtue. In these times, I think we're called to respond with soul, to connection deeper than agreement, to relationships that invite curiosity, even when it would be easier to turn away. Because if relationship means anything at all, it means choosing to stay at the table, especially when the conversation gets hard. Gratitude. Gratitude is what makes staying at the table possible. When I say gratitude, it's more than politeness, pleasantries, or pretense. It's a way of seeing, a way of being. Gratitude invites us to notice what sustains us. Not only when life feels easy, but maybe more when it doesn't. Gratitude invites us to turn our gaze from what divides us toward what grounds us. And the kind of gratitude I'm talking about here is more than mere thankfulness. I'm thankful for plenty of things. A car that runs, that a certain team is doing really, really well this year. And that I'll soon be eating pumpkin pie. Hurrah for the pumpkin pie. But it's deep gratitude that keeps me grounded. I'm grateful for a family that loves me even when I screw up. I'm grateful for a community that embodies Francis David's words at the top of your order of service. We do not need to think alike to love alike. And I'm grateful for the breath that empowers me to respond, not just to react. Gratitude is a practice, a spiritual skill, you could say, that requires repetition and intention. It asks us to stay open, even when uncomfortable, to resist denial or difference, and instead to widen our hearts to it. So if gratitude is a spiritual skill, here are a few ways we can practice it, especially when the conversation gets a little tricky. Be curious. It's my favorite. Ask open questions that invite stories, not debates. I'm wondering what your favorite Thanksgiving memory is. What are you most looking forward to this week? Curiosity shifts energy from opinion toward connection. Here's another one. Notice without needing to fix. And that's tough for me. I like fixing things. I have all kinds of opinions on how I could fix things or how we could fix things. But gratitude doesn't demand agreement or control, it just notices. So notice when you feel tension rise, pause. Silently name something you're grateful for in that moment. The food, the company, your health, the sunshine. I've called the next one breathe before you bite. And I don't mean biting into that pumpkin pie. I mean that tendency sometimes for our words to have a bite to them, even if it's in response to someone else's biting words. So before speaking or responding, take one conscious breath. Let me try that right now. Gratitude often hides in that breath between reaction and response. So breathe before you bite. and then look for the common humanity. When topics divide, find the shared values beneath them. They're there. Love of family, desire for safety, happiness, and health. We might express those in very different ways, but those typically underlie most of humanity, and we can find that in those moments. Gratitude widens when we look for what's still held in common. So there's four practices for you. None of these is a recipe for creating agreement, though, but they might help us deepen our connection, whether at a coffee hour or a cocoa bar, the Thanksgiving table, or in our everyday lives. Practicing gratitude doesn't make our personal or societal problems disappear. It doesn't dissolve differences or change minds, but it can ground our spirit, helping us meet life and one another with steadier hearts. And this, friends, is the gratitude that holds us steady when agreement fails. Gratitude helps us stay at the table, to find joy even in the mix of the stories and opinions and silences that make us all human. So whether dining in solitude or at a family Thanksgiving meal or in the diverse world which we share, gratitude keeps us rooted to what is still good and still possible. Take a look at that little altar up there. In a few minutes, we're going to begin our homemade bread communion, a ritual of connection, not agreement, of nourishment, not uniformity. Here we'll practice gratitude in the most human of ways by breaking and sharing of bread. And that's all that's required. All that's required to share at our table is a willingness to be grateful, beyond agreement. May it be so. We'll be hearing from our choir. So as we let these words settle into our hearts, our choir invites us into reflection with Hymn for America. May this music carry our gratitude forward, beyond agreement, and into the harmony of shared humanity. That was beautiful. Thank you, choir. We are about to begin our bread communion, and it looks like the kids have rejoined us, which is wonderful. Bethany and Lacey will help me with this. And look at that table. There's lots of different kinds of bread there. I'm going to grab a different mic here so I can tell you what some of them are. Some white bread here, some gluten-free bread here, banana bread, shouldn't have told you about that one, cranberry, cheese, and garlic rosemary. So you want to come, could you bring that hand sanitizer? This breaking of bread actually does involve, some breaking of bread. So I want you to watch us all make sure that we have. I attended Mass at St. Timothy's Episcopal Church recently, and it was kind of wonderful for someone who doesn't do communion in the same way maybe I did as a child to watch some of the pageantry. They actually used some fancy white towels, not sanitizer, but that's okay. All right. This morning we share a simple ritual, the breaking and sharing of bread. It's not a sacrament of sameness, but a celebration of our many loaves and our one shared spirit. Each loaf you see here was made by loving hands, some with wheat, some without, some from well-worn family recipes, others some experiments. All are gifts of care and abundance. At this table, all are welcome. There are no barriers here, no creeds to recite or beliefs to prove, just an open invitation to share in gratitude and community.
In this ritual, we honor both our diversity and our belonging. You're invited to come forward, choir first, then the rest from the outer sides. Choose a piece that speaks to you. Take your time. Let this be an act of quiet gratitude. Then,
and what you'll do is you'll point to the one you want, and we will break it off and give it to you.
Then you'll return to your seat by way of the center aisle. Ushers will be happy to bring a basket with bread to you if you prefer. And folks at home, consider grabbing a piece of bread, turning on your camera, and breaking bread virtually with others on screen. You might even type into the chat the type of bread that you're sharing and offer a blessing to one another. Before we begin, we'll bless these loaves and all who will share them.
Spirit of life and of love, we give thanks for these many loaves, for the hands that shaped them. Bless the hearts that will receive them, and the community that gathers here in gratitude. May this bread nourish us in body and spirit. May it remind us that gratitude is not about agreement, but about belonging, and the courage to stay connected even in our differences. May we taste in this bread the simple truth that life is good, and that goodness multiplies when it is shared. Amen. Come, let us break bread together.
across centuries and cultures, people have gathered to share food and remember their shared humanity. This morning, we've done the same, practicing gratitude, not for our sameness, but for our connection. This table, open to all, reminds us that the blessings of life are not reserved for a few, but are multiplied when we share them freely and with love. May what we have shared here feed our courage to listen more deeply and love more wisely, and to walk gently with one another in the days ahead. May we be together grateful beyond agreement.
Pretty yummy bread there. We only have one thing left to do, which is to sing. So please rise and body your spirit for Spirit of Life as we sing this prayer of connection and renewal. We'll sing it through once, then hum together as we circle around the sanctuary, joining hands, if you wish, for our closing benediction. As we extinguish our chalice, may we carry with us the taste of gratitude and the joy of connection. Reminders that thankfulness is not a moment, but a way of living.